Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that your body, the one thing you have always trusted to keep you alive without question, has suddenly betrayed you, silently, invisibly, without warning, because the system that maintains your survival, your sweat glands, has completely shut down. And now, with no warning and no mechanism to stop it, your internal temperature begins to climb relentlessly. Your heart starts racing, your breathing becomes heavier, and your brain, the organ you rely on for every decision, every action, every thought, begins to struggle as confusion sets in. Because sweating is not merely a matter of comfort, it is the body's most critical defense against overheating. And without it, you are entering a life-threatening scenario that escalates faster than most people could imagine. So let me ask you, if your body stopped sweating right now, how long would you survive? Seconds, minutes, an hour? Because in reality, under extreme conditions, the window is far shorter. And the first sign of failure is subtle, almost impossible to notice: the absence of something we all take for granted. Imagine stepping outside on a normal summer day, the sun glaring, the heat pressing against your skin. But this time, no moisture forms, no evaporation occurs, no relief is available. Your body's cooling system has gone offline, and within minutes, the effects begin. Your heart rate climbs, your breathing quickens, your face flushes, but no droplets escape to pull the heat away. Doctors call this condition anhidrosis, and most people have never heard of it until they experience its consequences firsthand. Because the first symptoms are silent, subtle, the absence of a function we rely on constantly. And once it starts, the consequences escalate in a terrifying chain. Your core temperature rises beyond safe limits, confusion sets in, your brain struggles to think, your organs overheat, cells start to break down. Cooking from the inside out, and sweating is the unsung hero that prevents all of this. Every drop evaporating from your skin pulls heat away faster than almost anything else. Without it, your body is trapped in slow-motion disaster. Proteins denature, enzymes fail, the heart strains, and the brain itself becomes unreliable. Neurons misfire, thoughts fragment, coordination fails, judgment clouds, and if you continue your activity, thinking you can endure the heat, you may accelerate internal damage unknowingly. Athletes collapse mid-run, hikers, soldiers, workers, victims of pushing past the body's natural limits while the sweat system silently fails. And it's not just the physical collapse that's horrifying. The psychological effects are equally severe. Confusion, irrational behavior, aggression sometimes sets in as the brain overheats. The body becomes a mechanical nightmare with no off switch. And here's the chilling reality. Humans are built to rely almost entirely on sweat as the primary cooling system. Millions of microscopic air conditioners embedded in our skin, pulling heat away with every drop. And without them, the illusion of invincibility disappears. And what if this failure happened while you were asleep, hours before anyone noticed, silently cooking your cells, damaging your brain, stressing your organs, and you would awaken completely unaware that your life-saving system had vanished? A nightmare scenario entirely possible in real life. Dehydration, nerve damage, medications, burns, genetic conditions, all capable of disabling sweat production. And once it does, it is not just discomfort, it is a silent race against time. And the horror is amplified because the exterior appears normal. Skin dry, no visible signals of internal chaos. You might feel hot, tired, dehydrated, unaware that your core temperature is reaching critical levels. And as the internal furnace intensifies, the brain becomes unreliable. Neurons misfire, fails, judgment falters, and if you continue ignoring warning signs, you accelerate the damage. Collapse is imminent, and most terrifyingly, there is no emergency override, no switch to restore the cooling system. This is why sweating is one of the most critical survival mechanisms. Millions of microscopic air conditioners evaporating heat, regulating life, without which the body is a ticking time bomb. Evolution bet everything on this, and the slightest failure can have fatal consequences. So what happens next is terrifying. Once the body can no longer shed heat, core temperature rises, confusion, dizziness, nausea, pounding headaches, irrational behavior, sometimes aggression, the mind literally overheating inside the skull. Victims often shrug off the danger at first, unaware, thinking they can handle the heat. And yet every second increases the stakes. Your organs struggle, the heart works harder, cells begin failing, the body becomes a furnace with no relief. The terrifying part is how ordinary it seems at first. No dramatic warning, a subtle shift from balance to crisis unfolding silently inside. That is why understanding this is chilling. Your sweat glands are controlled by a complex network of nerves, automatic, invisible, unthinking. When this system fails, it signals deeper damage. Subtle initially, escalating quickly. Minutes can become critical. Life measured in degrees of internal heat. Your survival dictated by silent systems running in the background. And if you survive, you remember how fragile the balance really is. Every droplet of sweat, a silent hero fighting to keep you alive. Every second, a shield against chaos. Yet most people ignore it, wipe it away, unaware that absence of this tiny automatic act could transform an ordinary day into a slow, invisible collapse. Internal chaos growing beneath the surface, pushing through discomfort thinking you're strong enough, ignoring mild warning signs, while the systems that keep you alive fail silently. A quiet horror hidden in plain sight. And next time you feel even the smallest bead of sweat forming, recognize it as your body actively saving your life, protecting your brain, your heart, your organs, every cell from invisible internal fire. Because when it stops, your body becomes a horror story unfolding in real time. A nightmare you may not even notice until heat, confusion, and chaos close in, proving that something so small, so overlooked, can decide between survival and tragedy. And that is the real terror of anhidrosis, the silent failure hiding behind what we take for granted, and why sweating is not comfort. It is life itself, quietly deciding your fate with every invisible drop. Your body's unsung hero which can stop without notice, leaving you trapped in a rising furnace of your own making. A race against time that started without permission. And the most terrifying part is how invisible the danger is, until the chaos has already begun. Internal breakdown accelerating, while the mind fails to recognize it. Every heartbeat, every breath, every movement unknowingly counting down toward catastrophe. And that is why this seemingly minor everyday act, sweating, is actually the thin line between life and death. A hidden mechanism we rely on constantly, silently fighting to keep us alive. And the moment it stops, the nightmare becomes reality, proving the smallest, most overlooked functions can hold the fate of an entire life in their invisible hands.